Are there then any alternatives to Cape independence? If you listen to our political opponents, there are three: devolving powers to the Western Cape, federalism, or somehow saving all of South Africa. Well, if we could have saved all of South Africa, I think we'd have done it already. And it's now clear from polling that in the 2024 elections, the majority of South African voters will once again vote for either the ANC, the EFF, or Jacob Zuma. And we simply have to accept that the majority of people in South Africa do not think like we think, and they do not want the solutions which we consider essential to our prosperity and essential to our survival. The DA claims that the devolution of powers is a viable solution, but this is pure fantasy. If we cannot control economic policy, if we cannot choose who our international allies are, if we cannot control our own borders, but instead we leave all of these things in the hands of an ANC, EFF government, then how on earth could we possibly save the Western Cape? And even if devolution were the solution, the DA simply cannot deliver it. And how can I say this with such certainty? Well, because the DA have had an outright majority in the Western Cape for 15 years. Yet despite having the collective support of civil society, academia, and several other political parties through the Western Cape Devolution Working Group, they have spectacularly failed to deliver devolution. And that's because devolution is not possible without the consent of the national government. What then about federalism? Well, like devolution, federalism will not deliver control of the key levers of power, leaving them instead in the hands of the ANC and likely the EFF. But in any event, federalism is actually harder to achieve than independence, because federalism requires a change of the constitution, where independence does not. And the inescapable reality is this: if we want to create a prosperous and functional non-racial society, which recognises the critical role which business and investment plays in improving the welfare of the people, where law and order is respectfully but firmly imposed, where the global outlook is westward, not east, and where we can imagine our descendants living contentedly for generations to come, then there is simply no other alternative but Cape independence. And if you're not planning to emigrate, then you need to help us save the Western Cape now while we still can.